Hello and welcome back to my channel, Frosty Stitch. My name is Dawn. I'm sitting in a bit of a different place because I took down my tree, my Christmas tree, yesterday. And this is where it was standing, and I haven't put back any of my furniture yet into the right place, so I thought I'd just put a chair here and record. Also, I'm recording a lot earlier than I used to because we've got sunlight today and it's much too warm outside. We've been having sort of autumn storms instead of winter storms, which is all a bit crazy. Also, I wanted to show you, I've got a lovely painting there, there, which shows Basel, but I'm not going to show you the whole picture. Then behind me, up there, this is so difficult when you try to show something. That's my Stone Street Stitch Works, the tree that I did with the houses on it and snow that I really like. So that was always behind my tree that I could see. And just above my head there, that's the little ornament that I got from Ingeborg, a stitch too far. So I'm going to put my pictures up there. I have lots of pictures here, originals I'm going to put up, but I'm going to, these two cross stitch pieces are going to be up, but I'm going to put them in different places. So I just wanted to show you that for a bit. So I'm not really organised, so please bear with me. Yeah, I thought I stitched quite a lot because I've been at home again for 2 weeks. I went into work on Monday the 8th and had to then go to the doctor because I've got a local infection, and he put me on antibiotics that were really, really strong because it was something that he was really concerned about, and usually he would cut it out, but he decided we'll try and go the antibiotics route, and it went away, and I'm really happy because I don't want to go to hospital. I had one of these things before and it's not very nice. Anyway, so I thought I actually stitched a lot, but most of the time I was so delirious or really, really tired that I was just lying down and sleeping most of the time because these antibiotics were like really, really heavy. And so I didn't get very much stitching done. Also, I stitched on most of the projects that you already know. And I don't think I actually got very far. So there's nothing really exciting to be shown. But I'll try and show you what I've done. Yeah, also I'm waiting for floss for a project that I'll tell you about later. Then, yeah, during this time I've been at home now for something like 6 weeks because I was ill. I had the flu before Christmas, then I had 2 weeks Christmas holiday, and I have these 2 weeks that I was on antibiotics, so that makes 6 weeks. And in these 6 weeks I've been alone at home, feeling like crap. So I've been out about 95%, been at home for 95% of that time and feeling really crap and lonely, and yeah, it wasn't a fun time. So I'm not looking forward to going back to work on Monday. I've been cleared by my doctor today, so I can go back to work on Monday. That's why I'm doing my Flosstube on Thursday and not Wednesday. So I just couldn't do it yesterday. But I had to get up today to go to the doctor's, and I thought I'd just film it now. Get that done. So yeah, I have to go back on Monday, and my doctor's really behind me. He knows I have to get a new job. Yeah, but that's going to be a long story, and I can't wrap my head around it. It's just too much at the moment. So yeah, so I've watched so much Flosstube, and Kay's cross stitch is back. Yay! Thank you, Kay. Yeah, it was really nice to see you. So yeah, I've watched quite a lot. I'm still not totally caught up, but I've caught up with most of the people that I really want to watch. So that's good. Then I have somebody, her name is Irene. She's from Malaysia, and she has a son who works in Zurich, which is about an hour away by train from where I live. And she contacted me. She said she watches my Flosstubes, and I've actually been following her on Instagram for quite some time. And she contacted me and said, look, I'm in Zurich and I'm going to come to Basel for a day. Do you want to meet up? Would be nice, because she's following me. And I said, yeah, fine, I would really like to meet somebody. Unfortunately, she got the flu that's been going around, and so that didn't happen. But apparently she comes back every year, so I might meet her sometime in the autumn, maybe. So that would be really nice. So yeah, Irene, if you're back at home, hope you got home safe and that the flu's gone. Then number 4, Laura X Stitches. She, I think she's got problems with her computer and she can't really do her Flosstubes and save them and then upload them. So she's been doing live videos, and she said that she's going to do a live January update. And I just caught it. It was pretty early. I think it was about 6 a.m. her time, but of course that's about 11 p.m. my time. So I started to watch at the beginning, which was quite fun, with the dogs going in the background, and she said I would stop it and cut it out, but the dogs, and I'm really sorry, but it was really fun because people were commenting and you could sort of watch, and yeah, I just loved it. That was fun. Thanks, Laura. It's great fun. So I couldn't watch the whole thing. I had to go to bed. So let's see, number 5. There's Craft Angie. I think it's Angie. I've been following her on Instagram for quite some time, and she's been doing Flosstubes as well. And I think she stopped doing Flosstubes for various reasons. She contacted me and just sort of, we started talking a bit, and she started doing Flosstubes again. She's ordered Henry, the one that Ginger Gerald is doing, the massive Haid. She's going to do that. She's ordered it. So go and follow her on Instagram or Flosstube. I'm going to link her below, so give her some love. Then number 6, yeah, I won something. Denkai, thank you, Denkai. It was, yeah, I loved Denkai's Christmas crackle countdown. That was so much fun. It was really, she and Mike, yeah, they did this whole thing, and it was fun. And it was, I think, the day I had to go back to work, first day, and I really didn't want to go, and I watched Denkai's short Flosstube while I was having breakfast, and then she sort of finished her Flosstube, and then at the end he came on and he did the drawing for 3, I think there were 3 winners. Ingeborg was one of the winners as well, and it was just, yay, I've won something. It's just something small, but it's special anyway. So I got it just today, just so it's lucky I filmed today. So if you don't know Denkai from Denkai Designs, you've probably watched her or seen her stuff. She does needle minders, and she just said congratulations, Denkai. She sent me some love hearts. I haven't had love hearts in, I don't know, so many years. It's been so long. So I'll enjoy those. And I won this tiny little kit. This is the original size that it's going to be. So just a full kit. But I'm happy because it just shows that, yeah, this community, we love each other and we give each other little gifts. And just something as small as this, seeing a package in my mailbox and knowing that it's probably stitchy stuff, and I'll probably stitch this in no time, but it's just, it was fun to get. So that was really, really nice. So thank you very much. Now I don't quite know how I should, yeah, probably give it a, that was number 6. Number 7, I got a lovely card. I Heart Cross Stitch, Andrea, I think she said she likes her name pronounced Andrea, not Andrea, Andrea. She said she saw a card and she thought of me, and I mean, could it be more perfect? I collect mugs, so the card is absolutely lovely. There's a little note in there and it's really nice, and she was very kind and she actually got some floss for me, which I like because, like I say, floss is expensive here. Any floss is expensive here. And if I get floss from somebody special, it does help. And it's special, and I try to put it in a project and write down who I got it from and what it was. So that was really nice. So thank you, I Heart Cross Stitch. Yeah, I heart my card. That was number 7, number 8. Yeah, I don't know how many of you watched Michelle Bendy Stitch's live stash unload. It was so much fun. It started at, what was it, 8 PM my time, and it went on for 3 hours, and so many people engaged, and it was great fun. I got 2 charts, a book and 2 fabrics, and it was just fun. You were just sitting there and watching and waiting for stuff to come up and then going, me please. And she had a helper, I can't remember her name, Helga. No, it wasn't Helga. I can't remember her name. Because we never saw her, we just saw her writing and saying who got what, so that was really good. And then she got put in jail constantly, because if you comment too often you sort of get put in jail if it's a live stream. So yeah, Stitching in Sequence saved the day by blocking all these people that started commenting like, yeah, Adolf Hitler decided that he's doing cross stitch, so no, that got deleted. So Stitching in Sequence just came in and saved the day, and it was good, it was fun. People were talking, live streaming with each other, while Michelle was showing us stuff, then waiting if it was recorded or not, and it was great fun. And she said she's going to do it again, and she's going to do more floss, more fabric, hand-dyed fabric, which I think lots of people were actually expecting. But I liked what I got, and I really had to restrain myself not to just go me, because I'm trying not to get too much stuff. Stitching from stash, and I have enough patterns, I don't need any more. So yeah, it was really good. So Michelle, and if anybody else does it, please, if you could just like announce it like she did. And Laura X Stitch announced it, I think 2 or 3 days before, that she's doing a live video, and then she announced it again about an hour before or something. So just that you can sort of write it down and then sit down and get, because I watch YouTube on my phone, and I then have to have my phone this way to see the picture on top, to follow the chat at the bottom, because if I go sideways you don't see the comments, they just sort of disappear. So I really have to get a computer out, a laptop or an iPad or my Mac or whatever. So if you're going to do something like that, please announce it before, so that I can write down in my calendar when it's going to be, set a time, or get my computer set up so that I can really watch and participate. Otherwise it's just something you get into and then you don't know, and half of it's gone. So yeah, so if anybody's doing that, please just announce it before. It'd be really nice. So that was number 8. Number 9. I started Santa's Village. As you know, yeah, I had huge problems getting fabric, whatever. So now I'm doing a cream Ada 18 count. So my snowflakes are not going to show up because they're in white. So I'll probably do something like with treasure braid mixed with white or something that you see snowflakes. I haven't quite decided. And the floss was gifted to me, both the DMC and the specialty floss by Shelley from KX Stitch. Thank you very much. Hi Shelley. She was so kind to gift me the floss, because I was going to give up on that project, and now I decided it's going to be Christmas 365, and I've started it, but I'm not going to show it because, you know, I've just started to border the white and red border on the top, so there's nothing really to show. But I've started that, and I hope I can get some stuff done there and then show it to you. I sort of felt a sort of slump because I haven't had a finish for some time, and so I found a freebie from Stone Street Stitch Works. It was a freebie and it's a heart, and I got the floss. Hang on, that needs to be removed. The floss that I used was specialty floss that I got from Scottish Stitcher on Instagram. She was so kind to gift me floss and Brooks Books Alice and 2 other pieces. I think it's the White Rabbit and the Mad Hatter, and I wanted to do just something small, and this floss I thought it was perfect. It's cotton and it's variegated, and it was really nice to stitch with, and I didn't use that much, so yeah, I was actually surprised because I was stitching it more half in the dark in front of the TV, and it turned out really, really nice with these colours, and I've already sort of finished it, put it on the canvas. I need to secure it a bit more, but it's really nice. It's tiny and small, but it's stitched up in about 2 days, 3 days, and it gave me the satisfaction of a finish, which I desperately needed. And so thank you, Scottish Stitcher, for the floss. Thank you for Stone Street Stitch Works for the freebie, because that was really nice. It's nice getting freebies like this because they are actually really nice to stitch up. So I enjoyed stitching that. That was really fun. So that was number 10. Number 11. Yeah, I got my, let's see where, yeah, this one. I ordered the chalk for the home pattern, the latest one, Let It Snow Bungalow. So I ordered this from, I think it was, I can't remember because they didn't send an invoice. Yeah, it's the one that was linked below, Chelsea and Priscilla's Real Housewives of Cross Stitch. They had it linked below where you could get something like 10% off. Doesn't make very much, it's about $1 or something that you got off of the whole, yeah. And I got my fabric for it. It's just chalk fabric. I'm going to probably stitch the big one, that one, on this, and then use the rest of the fabric for my Alice and the 3 patterns that I got from Brooks Books from Scottish Stitcher on this, because I think it'll probably look really good on this fabric. And I'll then probably stitch the winter one on a different colour fabric, but I don't know yet. And unfortunately I ordered floss from 123 Stitch, and it's only floss, it's not that much, and I pay $13 shipping. And I mean, it probably can go as a letter, so $13 is really much, it's just, yeah. And I haven't shipped it, and I'm waiting and waiting, and apparently now they've shipped it, but until it gets here I don't know. But I want to stitch this with Shelley KX Stitch because she bought it as well, and we're going to do a sale, and we were sort of thinking that lots of people are stitching it, so we might do a hashtag, but more a hashtag in the lines of join us stitching snow, or stitch winter with us, stitch snow with us, or something, to sort of get all the people together without having to do a Facebook group or anything else. We just want sort of people to join in. We want people to stitch with us and maybe comment on our floss tubes that you're stitching it, so that we can watch your floss tubes and see what progress you're making. Or if you're on Instagram, give us a shout out that you're stitching it so we can see your progress on Instagram. If you're just lurk or silly word, comment and say you're stitching it, if you like it or not. Just tell us something about it. It would be really nice. I don't think we're going to do a hashtag, but it would be really nice. So it's Shelley KX Stitch, I'll link her below, and me, we're going to start as soon as she hasn't got her chalk floss yet, and I haven't got any of my floss, so we're going to start when I get my floss. Either she or, well, we both announce it when we've started, because she does weekly updates and I do bi-weekly updates, so we'll mention it. And you can start commenting now, because I really would like to see what yours looks like, and if you're making changes, if you're using different fabric, if you're mixing up the floss. It would be really interesting just to see. So let us know. Would be really nice. Join us, because everybody is stitching this, but there is sort of no group. There's, yeah, and just chalking a home includes all of the patterns, but I'm only stitching this one and I'm interested in this one. So yeah, follow me, follow Shelley, and just comment. Don't comment, just watch us while you're stitching, that's fine as well. So just that you know, that's what we're doing. That was number 11, I think. Yeah, so number 12. I told you that floss is really expensive for me, but that I can, as long as I'm still stitching on Ada, I've got this one project on linen. And I can get Ada in white and sort of ecru colour, and I can get it 18 count, 16 count and 14 count, and then I can get, I think, a light blue in 14 count and a dark blue in 14 count, and that's about it. And she now said, I phoned her again, my LNS, and said, you know, I would like some colours, could you please get me 18 count colours? And she said, look, the problem is that she can't get the already wrapped, because she would have to buy those in bulk, and she can't sell them, and she can't get the whole roll of one colour, because she said nobody cross stitches anymore, so she can't actually buy all this fabric just for me, because I mean I don't stitch that much, and nobody else buys it. So I mean, I'm totally lost, because yeah, I've been stitching on Ada. Most kits come with white Ada, and I don't really like white Ada, so I've been ordering this ecru Ada and stitching on that, but it's getting a bit boring. And as you know now, my Santa's Village is on ecru Ada, and I wanted blue, I wanted a sort of lilac-y colour for that, or something else, and I got this pink, and I hate pink, and so now I'm left stranded with the same colour fabric for basically everything, and it's just, yeah, I checked it out. If I order fabric from 123 Stitch, if I order a big piece of fabric, because I've got a big piece, because I have some mirabilias that I want to do, and if I order the fabric for it, the fabric plus shipping means I have to pay tax, and then I haven't even got any floss, so I have to pay something like $13 just for the post office to tell the tax people that I have to look at it. If they then decide that I have to pay tax on it, it's another something like $3, and then there's the tax, which is then probably only $1 or something. And then I have to pay the tax people, because they had to open my package to look at it. And at the end I pay something like $40 for just for them to show it, plus something like $13 to $30 shipping costs for one piece of fabric, and I have no floss. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I really don't know, because we have one LNS in Basel and the lady's pretty old. She took it over from her sister, who's really old. I think she's disabled now and gone in a home, and she won't. I don't think she'll find anybody who'll take over the LNS. So I don't know what to do. So I was really happy to get 2 14 count coloured Ada from Wendy Stitchy for $3. Even though it's 14 count, I don't really like 14 count. The holes are too big, but I'll take that, because even with the shipping costs alone for these 2 pieces of Ada, I've got a bargain. So yeah, and I'll probably have to start buying kits, because they come with floss and fabric, and it'll be so much cheaper than buying floss and fabric by itself. And it's really annoying because not everything can be bought as a kit, and I don't want white Ada, and you know the whole thing. So let's leave that. That was number 12. Yeah, I've got number 13. Number 13 is I want to show you something. Like, Ingeborg has been talking about stuff that's been going on. Oh, I haven't showed you my stitching yet. Forgot about my stitching. Let's show you some stitching. This one I've put in timeout. It's my linen project. I had to put it in timeout. This is what I've got till now, and I mean, I already made a mistake down here. Like, I went over 1 too far, so apparently I can't even count. Whatever. I started at the bottom and went upwards. I had huge difficulties doing the back stitch in that piece. I talked about that. Then I sort of just went up and up and up, and I was actually quite happy doing it, and I didn't mind the back stitch in the words or on the crosses, and I don't mind the crosses. But now I've noticed that these 2 are like, yeah, now because it's linen, so it's not a whole cross on a wrong. It's only half a cross wrong. I'm not going to rip it out. I'm really not, and I'm just fed up with it. And it's so flimsy, and I've no tension on it, and I've been working on it for it feels like ages, and this is sort of the stopping point. And now here I have to put in the border again as that, like that, and then I wanted to stop there, but the whole top part is sort of flowers, and I want to do it, and Michelle said I should do it, so I want to do it, but yeah, no, I've decided I don't like linen, or I need to find a different way of working with linen, because I stitch in hand, and it's not working for me. I'm not happy with it, totally not. Yeah, the one that I've worked on most, I think, is the ankle kit that Cheserad Stitches is doing. I started up here in a corner, and of course I did full crosses here, which should have been half crosses, but it doesn't matter. And I've changed this from, I think it was 16 count, yeah, it was 16 count Ada, and I switched that to 18 count just because I prefer it, and this is what I've got. It was really easy doing the half stitches. Like, this was full, I did these full crosses, it should have been half, but then I switched to half stitches here, and now this black part in the middle here, that's full crosses, and everything that comes on this side from here over is full crosses. So here's about halfway, I think, and then the whole way around here is going to be full crosses. So it's not quite as fast, but I'm still doing it. And now, of course, there's lots of colour changes, so it's not so easy to do it just like that in front of the TV. But we'll see. I'm getting there. I like this project. It's a nice project to work on. I've been working on this, not very much, as you can see. I think I had the eyes finished and now I'm sort of working up. But yeah, it's a bit difficult because his forehead there's not very much going on here. So as you can see, I have this bit that needs a bit of finishing, but I can't really, if I start there and then I have to carry the thread to somewhere else, yeah. I need a break from this one as well, I think. I need a break from all of my projects. I don't know. I want to start new, but then I don't want to start new. I want to start Let It Snow Bungalow, but I haven't got the fabric, and I haven't got the floss, and it's just, yeah. And the one that I'm trying to keep on top of, just because it's going to be the whole year, is my temperature garden. And the design is by Stitching Mummy, and she stitched this last year, and you can find it on her Etsy shop. And the needle minder is from Ingeborg, which I really love. Somebody else is stitching this, I've seen, and they have a needle minder that looks like this, and that's the back of my needle minder. So I don't know if they use the same buttons, but it's totally strange. Oh, sorry, showing my back. Ugh, how indecent of me. Yeah. So lots of people have commented that it's cold. Well, no, it's not. The temperature should have. You can choose from 3 different sort of temperatures that Stitching Mummy has. She has like for warmer climates, medium climates, and cold climates. And I'm doing the medium one. And this here should have been about November. And it should be a lot cooler and colder, and we should be having snow, which we're not. The temperature they've actually officially said that Switzerland is one of the countries that's been hit hardest by climate change. So the summer that we had was awful. It was too hot for too many days, with no rain, no thunderstorms. It's out of control, and now our temperature is about 10 degrees average, too warm every day. So that was about the whole last year and now as well. So we've been having autumn storms with about 11-12 degrees Celsius, and we've been having thunderstorms with rain, and it's too warm, and it should be snowing. So it doesn't make sense, and it's annoying because the weather gets to me. We have this I don't know what you call it in English. It's föhn. It's when most people get headaches, and I get headaches, and it constantly goes high, low, and it's really getting to me. It's getting to everybody, and we're irritated because we should be having snow, we should be having cold weather, we should be below, like in a minus, we should be having ice, we should have plants dying off, we should have insects dying off. And for people who are allergic like me, basically anything that's pollen related, it should die, and it doesn't. So that means I'll have a hay fever year in front of me, another one that's going to be just absolutely crazy and a nightmare. So let's quickly check that I've got everything I showed. Yeah, my tattoo, the Evening Star, Watch Between, Temperature Garden, and the Sweetheart from Stone Street Stitchworks. You can find the freebie on their Facebook page, and you can follow them on Instagram. And I started Santa's Village. So I finished the heart, so I've got $2, yay! Stitch from Stash. Bendy Stitchy's Life Stash Unload was $24 without shipping, but I have leftover Christmas money, so I can pay for that. Yes, because I'm going to need fabric, and that's going to, I don't know how I'm going to do that, because with $25 I'm not going to get one piece of fabric. And yeah, okay, so I showed you all my stitching. well, the stuff that I stitched on. So yeah, Ingeborg usually does something related to her traditions, the country, the language, something. And I've got something to show you because I don't know if you know, but Basel is, we have a border onto Basel the city, and so Basel is a city. Basel is also a canton. Well, it's half a canton. We've got Basel city and Basel land, and together we're one canton, which would be something like a state in the US, like Texas, for instance. So we're cut in half. We have 3 of these cantons that are sort of divided into half cantons, but we count as a whole canton. But Basel, the city, borders onto France and Germany. And we have a Dreiländereck, which means 3 countries come together in one point. And you can visit it. It's a tourist attraction. Pretty boring, but you can visit it. And the River Rhine runs through Basel, and the main bit of Basel is on one side, and that's where Switzerland is basically. So you go, the bigger part, the Gross Basel, the bigger part of Basel is where you then go off to the country. That's also the side that then goes to France. And I'm on the smaller side, where the River Rhine goes through. It's a sort of smaller part of Basel. And we have then Riehen and Bettingen, which are 2 tiny, well, Riehen is actually quite big, but they belong to Basel. And then outside, around us is Germany. So the River Rhine goes through, and we're called Klein Basel, small Basel, but we're also called Niederes Basel, which is a term for like not quite as good. But we also have the division between where I live, which is the nicer part, and the not so nicer part, where there's lots of immigrants there, but it's actually up and coming, and it's not as bad as it used to be, and it's a nice place to be because they're having so many nice sort of coffee shops coming up, and it's going to be a nice part of Basel, even though we have lots of immigrants there, and I don't mind them because lots of them are really nice. So, don't send Trump here. Okay, no politics in Flosstube. Good, sorry about that. So, we have, I don't know what no, you probably don't have Zunft in the US. I can't really explain what a Zunft is, but it's mainly men, and they get together, and it used to be like the bakers or what are the other ones? We have Rablus, so the Winzers, the ones doing the wine, and so anyway, we have 3 of them that are in small Basel, where I am, and we have the highest, what do you call it? It's the highest feast of special day, like, is on Saturday. It's the 20th, and that's Vogel Gryff. Now Vogel Gryff is the Vogel is the bird, and the Gryff is it's a mystical object, bird, sculpture, whatever. I don't know the terms. I didn't look them up. I was just decided to put this in just before I started my Flosstube. So I'm really sorry about that. You can look it all up. It's called Vogel Gryff. If you want to know how it's written, you can put a comment below. I put you onto a website where you can read about it. It's really interesting. They've done this for years. It's like a real tradition. And the people who belong to these Zunft, they have the flags out. The flag for their Zunft. So they have them on, like, out of the house. They have these huge flags. And they start at a starting point, which is like Fisher House, up the Rhine. Yeah, up the Rhine. So they start there, then they come down, and there's 3 main characters. You have the Vogel Gryff, which is the bird. You have the lion, and then you have the wilde maar, which is a wild man, basically. And he has 2 masks. He has either he's got the smiling face or the nasty face. And he also has a headband that goes round, and that's got apples on it, red apples. Also, he's got the one going round his waist, and that's got apples on. And he carries a tree. And the day before, they actually go and they search for the tree in the woods, and they dig it up, and it's a real tree, and that's the one he's going to carry around all day. And they come on the River Rhine, and when they get to the middle bridge, which is the oldest crossing point, they let off these buller, which is cannons. I think it's 11 of them, I'm not quite sure. Yeah. And that's when you know that now they're coming, and they're going to sort of come over to Klein Basel, to our part of Basel. They get off, and they have stations that they go to. And these 3 figures, they dance. And they usually go to the big, like the higher ups in these Zunft, and they go and dance for them. And they're usually dressed in black, with a black coat and a black hat. And they'll dance for them, and every one of them will dance in front of that person, and he'll then lift his hat when they're finished. And it's a tradition that's gone back for years, so I don't know how old it is. It's very, very old. And before the whole thing starts, we have the Uli. I'll show pictures of those. There's 4 of them, red, green, blue and black, and they come like a star formation, and they start on the outskirts of Basel, small Basel, and come in towards where then Vogel Gryff will start, and they collect money for it. So that's how it's financed. And when the wilde maar docks on, he'll meet the Vogel Gryff and the lion. And from there onwards, they then start where they go through. And they make a stop on the middle bridge, which is the bridge that you'll see at the beginning where they go underneath. And you can see on top this sort of like a building, like a chapel, tiny building, because it's a really old bridge. And that marks the middle of this old bridge. Now, the wilde maar, the lion and Vogel Gryff, they will actually only show their back sides to the bigger side of Basel. So the whole time they're there, the whole time they dance towards small part of Basel. It's a sort of big Basel does not interest us. And on the other side, on the Gross Basel side, they don't do anything like this. But on one of their buildings, they have they have a mask up from the Lallekönig. Lallekönig is I can't describe it. Anyway, there's this mask up, and it's up there all year, and you can see it. And it's just the Lallekönig. Lallekönig is sort of like, he puts his tongue out. And during the Vogel Gryff, he actually puts the whole tongue, usually it's just sort of, but during Vogel Gryff, he has his tongue out, and it's like that, showing us basically the finger or the tongue, and we show them the backside. And that goes on all day. It starts at 11. The children, I think, can go and see where they start, and that's at 10 o'clock, and then the whole thing starts at 11 and it goes till midnight or whenever. And you must imagine that the Vogel Gryff, the thing that he's got on his head, I think it's something between 13 and 20 kilograms that he's got on his head, and he dances and he bows down in front of this man with his hat, and sometimes he bows down and it's inches in front of that person, and he doesn't move. He's not allowed to move. If he goes back, it's a sign of weakness, so he has to stand there, and his figure just comes, and he's huge, and he dances, and then he bows down in front of you and is about this much. and then he comes up, and then the man will lift his hat and bow to him. So I've got a few pictures which I'll show you now. These are the uli, and they have bells on them, so you hear them from quite far away, and they rattle their money because they're collecting money. This is the bridge, and you can see on the right hand side where that thing is. And this is the wild maar coming down with the cannons, and this is on the bridge, in the middle of the bridge, and as you can see, they're with their backs to the big tide of Basel. The wild maar doing his dance. It's quite wild. He's got no apples left, and the lion, he sort of hops and skips, and it's quite fun to watch him hop and skip around. And then you can see them all together where they march along. They have drums and pipes, and this is the Vogel Gryff. He dances very slow because he's very ancient, and here you can see how he bows down. Very impressive. And lots of kids love it. And here you can see one of the faces, the not so nice face, and he's lost all his apples already. And yeah, he's doing shenanigans, as stitching in sequence would say. Yeah, so I hope you liked what I showed you there. Like I say, you can look it up on the internet. It's actually quite well known. Even though it's just one day, but it's something really, really special, and lots of people come to watch. Yeah, so that's all my notes. I have one more thing to say. As far as I know, it's the 18th today, which means the start of Year of Whips, and it's Melanie's birthday, so happy birthday, Melanie, and I hope you have a great Year of Whips for everybody who's doing that. I'm going to look forward. I'm in the group, but I don't participate, but I'm looking forward to seeing the progress that you people are doing and that you're showing on your Flosstube, because I think participating in something like that it's a commitment that you don't do to a group, you do it to yourself. But Melanie gives you the option of doing it with other people and in a sort of structured way, and I think that's really good. So yeah, that was it from me for today, and yeah, I don't know how to finish this. The building works outside are driving me crazy, and yeah, it's the middle of January, not my favourite time of year. Don't know what to stitch on today. We'll see. So, happy stitching everybody, and please give me a shout out if you stitch the chalk piece, Let It Snow Bungalow, or give a shout out to Shelly KX Stitch. So that's it from me. Love you and leave you, and happy stitching everybody. Bye.